or good evening to you, wherever you're watching around the world. You are joining the Invictus Racing League Formula 2 Equal Performance. We are now in round fantastic race. We're getting towards the last quarter of the season. It's been absolutely hectic so far. We've had chopping and changing at the top of the championship. We've had chopping and changing of the constructors. Settings, guys. That was a Ferrari going out first. Let's just see. Yeah. So we're going to ride on board with Nick, see if we get this right this week and try and find the first person to set a fast lap. A few races missing today, unfortunately. We've got 13 racers ready to go, and we just see them all filing out of the pits there. Probably trying to get a slipstream down that super long back straight. And also the home finish straight. It's not actually that short. It's actually quite a long home finish straight that sends us down to that ridiculous helter-skelter of turns 1, 2 and 3. So just riding on board now with Nick. You're just seeing Nick now come between turns 4 and 5, I believe it is. This circuit is going to play some serious havoc on the tyres. It's always turning. Other than the two long straights, you're pretty much always turning the front axle. So the front tyres are going to take an absolute pounding today. So it looks like Nick's come out on his hard tyres. Maybe that's just to get... Caught it very well there, so good save from Nick. So yeah, we're just seeing Nick now coming onto the back straight, which is between turns 13 and 14. Super long straight. It's also a DRS zone here. There you go, that's the DRS zone. There's two of them. It's not a bog off DRS. You don't get 2 for 1 here. You've got to work for both of them. So the DRS detection for the one we've just seen Nick go through is just before turn 12. Just coming down now between turns 15 and 16, where the second DRS detection zone just there. And that's the other DRS just now coming to the home finish straight. So riding on board with Nick. Let's see what he can do on his opening lap on hard tyres. Everyone else is on out lap. Nick and Tony Y looks like they're on fast laps now, as is Mr. Steen. So let's have a look what the guys are on tyre wise. Fitted, yeah, got a definite mix of hards and softs here. Not sure why that is. If it was me personally, I'd be going out on the mediums, seeing what they did, and then maybe going to the softs. The guys on hards, I imagine they're either going for a hards to mediums, or even a hards to soft. You never know. But yeah, so it's always. I always wonder why the guys either go straight for the softest tyre or choose the hard. It's interesting. It is interesting. If you guys have been following the Invictus Racing League podcast by Gareth and Sab, absolutely fantastic podcast. If you're not familiar with it, please join in and listen. It's an absolute fantastic podcast. Although Sab did actually say that he hates this track. How dare you, Squire? I think it's a brilliant circuit. But Sab's not a lover of this. I actually really love China. I think it's a brilliant circuit to drive. I was really surprised that Sab didn't like this. So yeah, but if you're not familiar with that podcast, guys, give it a listen. It's on. It is on Podbean, I believe. It's also on. Is it SoundCloud? And it's also on Spotify as well, and as well as YouTube, as this channel is. So give it a listen, guys. It's brilliant. So just watching Nick now go through turns 1, 2, and 3 of the Helter Skelter. Very tricky, really tricky, especially we've got heavy fuels at the start of the race. Tony Wise setting the fastest lap so far of 1:32.863. So running with the typical week in, week out mistake that I make, and I can never track who sets the first fast lap. So I do apologise for that, guys. But Tony Wise set the fast one of 1:32.863. Mrs. Steen, I was about to say Mrs. Steen, but Delange doing a 77 thousandth of a second behind Tony Wise. So fair play to him. Let's just turn that to interval. We can't do on that one. There you go. So yeah, 1:32.941 for Delange. Mrs. Steen, 1:33.755. Then Meg Luckby, who is currently sitting at the top of the table on 51 points, 6 seconds adrift of the Warislander. So I'm sure Meg Luckby is going to be trying to extend his lead. Ike's Fun has just set. Meg Luckby's gone 1:33.960. Ike's Fun 1:34.219. And Nick is sitting there with a 134.862. Captain Steve with a 135.018. So obviously you can see straight away the soft tyres obviously being the fastest setup so far. As we see Estimates, what can he do as he comes across the line? Oh, he's on an outlap, I do apologise. Outlap, outlap, outlap. Tanker 903, let's see if he can improve. He's in Sector 2, let's check who else. Sector 3, Delangay looks like he's the next driver to do. No, he's not, he's on 0 ERS. So if you're watching there, because he's on 0 ERS, he's obviously going for a fast lap. Let's try and find someone else. Sector 3, Ixphone, no, he's coming in. Nick's still deploying battery, so I think he is in a fast lap. He got a bit of oversteer there. So I believe Nick, our reigning champion, as well as MJ Coupe, are running no assist this season. So keep an eye out on those two. Very impressed by any racer that wants to compete with no assist, because it's super, super hard. So the forementioned racers currently in tandem as MJ Coupe just gets out the way of Nick. So again, as we see Nick come down this long back straight, this is where we're going to see a lot of overtakes. It's pretty long. The DRS is going to play a big part, as well as this hairpin. There's two ways to take this: slow down and then take it sharp, or go long and keep the corner speed as high as possible. Oh, did Nick invalidate that time then? We will soon see. He is, no, he's slower anyway. He's 2 tenths down. Let's just see who else is actually on a fast lap. Estimates, is Estimates going to be doing? No, he's gone wide there. That's not going to be fast, unfortunately, for Estimates. So we've got Ixphone. Ixphone is out on some medium tyres. No, he's not. He's in the pit. My apologies. So the Chris, let's see what Chris is doing. He's come out on some soft. So speaking with Chris off camera, Chris wasn't really looking forward to this track. Apparently it's not one of his strongest tracks, but I'm really, really rooting for Chris. He really wants to score some good points today. So Chris comes to the last turn. It's a tricky corner. Needs to cut this. Just nice. Just hits that apex, and he comes across the line with a 132.407 and goes second fastest. Absolute fantastic lap from the Chris 01. Absolutely brilliant. Really impressed with that. So fair play to Chris, who wasn't looking forward to this race, but looks like he's found some sort of form and has put a decent stamp on the time board there. So absolutely fantastic. Brilliant from the Chris 01. Outlap for Tony Y, Estimates in the pits, Mrs. Steen still on the hard tyre. It's going to be super difficult to keep the lines as tight as possible with these hard tyres, because they do slide, they really do slide. So we've got a fair few different racers out at the minute on different tyres. There's a pretty even mix there. You've got 4 racers out on softs, 5 out on hards and 4 out on mediums. It'd be interesting to see exactly what it looks like. We have lost Tynus for some reason. Hopefully he can get back into the session unless he's crashed out. I don't think he has, but yeah, it'd be interesting to see exactly if he can get back in or not. Just bear with me, guys, while I try and bring up the message board. So like Mr. Steen's done his fastest lap he could do on the hard tyres. He's turned his ERS off, so it looks like he's trying to get back to the pits and put on some fresh trainers and try do another one. Delange, let's see where he is. Coming down the back straight between turn 13 and 14. DRS opens. Oh, bit of a tiny lock up there from Delange. So Delange still stays in 4th. Chris has just dropped down to 3rd, so we've got Tony Y, then Tanker 903, then the Chris 01, then Delange, then Mr. Steen, Estimates, The Wireslander, Megluppy, Ike's Fun, Nick J. Thompson, Captain Stiff, and MJ Coop. So let's see if we can find someone else on a hot lap. Pit. MJ Coop, what is Coop doing? He's deploying at the fastest rate. He is on overtake ERS mode. Oh, very, very rear axle happy there for MJ Coop. Struggling with the no assists. And still stays 13. He's done 3 laps now on those hards. It'd be, I'm not sure why he's going more and more laps. Maybe he's trying to get a feel and then go on to some mediums or something. But you know, taking 3 or 4 laps out of the tyres that you will start the race on, unless you're outside the top 10, obviously. I'm not sure why somebody would do that, but. So Tynus has said I slipped away last corner before start finish, yet before I begun. Sorry to hear that, Tynus. So everyone's currently in the pits as we speak. Are they saving the softs? Is this going to be a two-stop strategy, guys? Be interesting to see, because everyone seems to have done what they can. We've got Ike's Fun and Nick coming back out. So Ike's Fun's come back on some fresh mediums. Let's see what he can do. If you are watching the stream tonight, guys, I do apologise. The quality is not the best. That won't be for much longer. I will back in my usual commentary box where the internet is much better. So for all our avid watchers and followers, please bear with us. I've been trying everything I can to sort this internet out, and I'm literally stuck with what I've got. Sincerely apologise about the quality. But yeah, hopefully that will all change very soon. We're back in my normal commentary box with the super fast broadband, bringing you the action in crisp HD quality that you've all been accustomed to watching. So we've got Meg Luppy coming out on some fresh mediums. We've got Ike's Fun, Nick J out some fresh mediums. Everyone else sitting in the pits. No, Tanker 903 and the Chris 01 coming out on some fresh softs. So just on board with Ike's Fun as he starts his fast lap as he negates the turns 1, 2 and 3 of the Helter Skelter. Oh, getting very happy there. Looking tidy there, he's got that braking point bang on. He's coming Coming around turn 12 and 13, and coming onto the super long back straight. Opens up DRS. He's running out of battery here. They're just while we're watching, on board with Ike's phone. Oh, Meg Luppy's just jumped him. As we're watching, he is actually on setting 5 of the ERS deployment, which is the hot lap function. As I believe it, ooh, get really twitchy there. What can Ike's phone do? Ike's phone jumps up to 4th with a 1:32.732. Fantastic from Ike's phone. Nick's jumped up to 6th with Delange just in front of him 5th. Absolutely brilliant lap there from Ike's fun. So we've got Tony White, Tanker 903, Ike's fun, then Delange, followed by Nick. We've got Mr. C in 7, SD Max in 8, the Warriors Lander in 9, Megalopy in 10, Captain Stiff in 11, MJ Coop in 12. We've lost Tynus, unfortunately. So let's just see, I think it would be Chris should be setting a fast lap. Where's Tanker? Tanker sector 1, so I think it is Tony next. Oh, he's just setting a fast lap now, I do apologise. So let's see where Chris is in sector 3. Let's stay on board with Chris. He's approaching someone warming the tyres up, so let's just see what happens when he... Oh, this is looking mighty close for a slip up here. I think it's Delange or Nick in front. It is Nick. He does keep out of the way. Fair play to Nick. Good racing there for Nick, who gets out of the way. What will the Chris 01 do? Can he improve on his time? 2.114 on those soft tyres. Absolute brilliant. So, qualifying is officially over. However, if racers are on a fast lap, they will be able to set that. Let's just check who is closer. We've got Megalopy, who's on a fast lap. Got a bit of audio issues there for Megalopy, but I don't. That is probably just a glitch. It's he's probably going as fast as he can. This is looking mighty fast. This could be a 1:32.3 maybe. Is that invalidated? We don't know. Oh, 1:32.955. He does improve. He stays 8, and Nick is in sector 3. Who else have we got out there? I think it's just Nick. Coop's in the pit. So yeah, I think it's just Nick that's left. But he's not actually deploying his battery. So it looks like what we are seeing on screen is the final standings for qualifying. Looks like Chris. Not sure what happened to Chris there. We lost him in qualifying, but he did qualify on the second row of the grid. But it's the 2 racing points, or what are they called again now? Apologies, guys. Racing Force, I believe it is. So the 2 racing forces, Tanker 903 and Tony Y, locking out the front row of the grid. The Chris 01 at the start of the second grid. So fair play to Chris. He did say off camera that he wasn't looking forward to China. It's one of his weaker circuits, but looks like he's very comfortable on the soft tyre. The only problem being the soft tyre is going to take a pounding. So before I get on with that, let's just recap. We've got Tanker 903 in first with a 1:31.617. Then Tony Y taking up the P2 position. Then the Chris 01 on the second row of the grid. Joining him is the Warriors Lander in P4. The next grid along is Delange 993 in 5th and Estimates alongside him in 6th. Ike's Fun takes up the next spot of the grid with Nick J just alongside him. Then we've got Meg Luppy and Mr. Steen creating the next slot. And then Captain Stiff and MJ Coop with Tynus Optional bringing up the rear. So all the way back to Mr. Steen, we have got all 3 tyres available to the racers out on the front 10. They are locked into those tyres. They set their fastest lap on that tyre compound. So they are officially locked in. Everyone else in P11, 12 and 13, they can choose their own tyres. Other than that, this is going to be amazing. It's a very short run to turn 1. We'll see what happens, but it's going to be exciting. It's going to be 13 racers all jostling for position in that turn 1. Let's see what happens. So while we're waiting for the guys to take up the position and do their formation lap, let's just recap everyone that's listening of who is leading and who needs to score points. So we've got Meg Luppy leading the championship on 51 points. Then we've got the Wiselander 6 points behind in P2. We've got Humberstone on 41 points in P3. We've got Estiats with 39 points, super close to Humberstone in P4. We've got Steam 13, joint 4th, we could say, because he's also on 39 points. Then we've got Delange 9-3 on 34 points. We've got Biofreak, who's not here today, on 32 points. Just behind him, pipping him by 1 point was Biofreak. He's Captain Stiff on 31 points. A little bit behind him is No Fudge for You. We're also missing tonight. He's on 24 points. And then just behind him with Colin J, I believe we're also missing tonight, on 21. Nick joining him on 21 points, sitting in the P11 position. Then we've got Mr. P80, who's also absent tonight. He's on 20 points. Tanker 903 on 15 points in 13th. And then we've got Core Tactic on 12 points in 14th. And MJ Coop in 15th on 10 points. And we've got Alex with 9 points. We've also got Tony Y in 17th on 9 points. Ike's Fun on 6 points. Let's hope we see Ike's Fun get some points tonight. We've got Tinus Opted on 4 points. And then the Chris 01, one of our newer drivers, not scored any points this season, but after that qualifying, I am really convinced that we're going to see some point scoring from the Chris 01. So while I was doing my research on the Chinese Grand Prix, I failed to find any corner names. Maybe it's where I've been looking. Maybe I'm just not great at research, but I couldn't find anywhere where the circuit names, the corner names were. Really strange. But yeah, it's every circuit I research, I always find names for. But for some reason, I just couldn't find any corner names for China. So yeah, I'm going to be saying turn 1s, 2, 3, 4, etc, etc. If anyone out there knows where I can find corner names for China, by all means let me know. I would love to know the corner names of China. But it looks slightly overcast. Could we even see some rain this race? That'd be absolutely fantastic to see. Always adds a bit of mix to the races when we get a bit of the wet stuff falling. Yeah, but it does look awfully overcast. Could be really exciting if we get a dry to wet race, or even a dry wet then dry race. That'd be super exciting. So it'll be interesting to see what the track temperatures are, because that could play a massive part in the traction, especially with what the guys have chosen in regards to tyre choice. The guys on mediums and hards may struggle, especially in the first 5 or 6 laps. The hards are particularly hard to warm up on circuits like this. So just watching the guys take up their final positions on the grid, and then we're going to see those beautiful red lights start to light up. We've got the green flag waving in the background, which means all the racers are accounted for and present. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 lights, and they're out. And away we go for the Racing Force cars, who get a beautiful start. We've also seen Delange dropping down 3 places, and also Estimat's dropping down a place, but it looks like the Racing Force cars are keeping it nice and tidy as we come through turn 2. As we just see the Alfa Romeo and the Haas car going side by side there through turn 3 and into turn 4. Absolutely fantastic stuff. We haven't lost anyone yet. That's actually fantastic to see. Meg Luppy is down 4 positions as the Haas goes down the inside on the Alfa Romeo. What a brilliant move. What a brilliant move from the Chris 01, who's took the position back. They're still going side by side. And the Alfa Romeo of the Wieslander takes it back. They're still going side by side. The Crystal one on the soft tyre and the Wieslander on the medium tyre. This could be very interesting. As we see Tanker 903 starting to pull out a sizable lead on his teammate. So Estimas has just stayed exactly where he started in 6th place too. I think it's about 5 or 6 times we've seen those change. Almost coming to the end of lap 1 now. We're taking up the chicane. As we see Eichsfund go around the outside of Estimas. Has he kept it? They're racing towards the final turn of 13. Sorry, of 16. We see Nick J. Thompson going a little bit wide there. Just trying to, sorry, Delange going wide there, following his teammate Nick J. Thompson. And he's getting real pressure from Mr. Steen there. The painfully slow corners of 1s, 2 and 3, the helter-skelter of the Chinese circuit. And again, we're seeing Chris drop down behind the Wieslander. Now, the only problem with these soft tyres, especially with full fuel loads, is they do overheat. Oh, we just see Chris going super tight there. Just on board with the Chryso 1 now. We will switch back throughout the field to see who's got oh, Eichspun all over the back of Estimas. Oh, it just goes a little bit deep in that corner there. So DRS not activated yet. We've got another lap after this one before DRS is activated. But we are on board with Eichspun. As we're just seeing, was that a Red Bull going wide there? Ah, Nick J. Thompson takes it round the outside of him and just pips him to the chicane. Covering it up on the inside line. He's going to brake and go left slightly. Oh, a bit of a lock up there from Nick. Nick's going to have to bend and go wide here. Yep. Cuts it in nicely. So the Wieslander has now got in front of Tony Y. The Wieslander is going to want to make a big stamp on this race. Currently sitting 6 points behind Meg Luckby. And Meg Luckby down in P11. So this could be an opportunity for the Wieslander. If he keeps this form to the end of the race, he could take this championship back into his lead. So looking back now, everyone seems to be setting out a nice little pace on everyone. We've got 3 attempts for the Chryso 1, still chasing now Tony Y. So Tanker 903 is on soft, as is Tony Y and the Chryso 1. Now, the Wieslander on the medium tyres, if he could start putting pressure on Tanker 903, I would say he's in for a serious contention of winning this race. The soft tyre guys are all going to have to pit probably on lap 8 or 9, depending on how hard they're actually racing or defending or attacking. So the Wieslander currently 1.6 behind Tanker. Let's just see how that unfolds over the next lap. As Chris gets past Tony Y, can he get it stopped in time? Yes, he can. He's going to try and push him out a little bit. No, he keeps it fair. Fair play to the Chris, who does leave him slight room on the outside. Absolute brilliant curbside shot there as we go through the last turn of 16. So DRS should be activated now. That means when you get to just before the last turn, you get the DRS detection zone for the home finish straight. Coming up to the twisty turns of turns 12 and 13, just towards the beginning of sector 3, we'll see between turn 11 and 12 the DRS detection zone for that section. The DRS zone itself, though, is about a third of the way down the back straight, so you don't get it straight away. It's going to be interesting. So the Wieslander set the fastest lap so far in the P2, but he is chasing down Tanker 903, now under 1 second, so he will get DRS. Let's just ride on board with Wieslander, because he is really putting some pressure on the back of Tanker 903. He's going to be seeing in his mirrors. I'm pretty sure Tanker 903 will be checking his rear views every couple of seconds to see how well Wieslander is doing. DRS should open now. It does open. He's going to get this. It's going to be a pretty clean sweep. Goes to the inside of it. Yeah, he does. And there you go, the Wieslander comes through into P1. Absolute fantastic stuff from the Wieslander. Tanker 903 on those soft tyres. It'd be interesting to see what temperature his tyres are running at, because I imagine they're going to be super hot. Those soft tyres do not react well when you've got heavy fuel loads, especially this section, turns 1, 2, 3 and 4, is going to put some super heavy load on those tyres. Again, all I can do is apologise for this lagging issue, guys. It's not what I want for Invictus. It's not the quality we are used to. And this will change very soon, I promise you. Looks like Chris has dropped down now. Nick J. Thompson has got in front of him. Is Chris struggling with those soft tyres? Chris was going pretty hard. So Ixfun is just all over the back of Chris's gearbox. I imagine on those medium tyres he's going to slip by pretty soon, because those soft tyres are going to be hurting. Welcome Sky Z, how you doing, buddy? He's saying go Ixfun. Yeah, he's looking good on the back of Chris here. Look at that train of cars all the way back from Estimats, Nick, then Chris, then Ixfun, then Mrs. Steen. All really close together. This is still really tight, guys. It's normally much more spaced out at this point, but everyone seems to be pretty close together. Oh, it's just Ixfun. He makes a beautiful move. Oh, absolutely brilliant move on the side of Chris 01 there. And let's just see him as he... Oh, he gets pushed out again. Chris comes back in. Brilliant racing from these two. We might have a three-way battle here. It might get really musical and get a Nicki Minaj twide to turn 1. No, it's not. It's just a two Ronnies. It's just a two Ronnies into turn 1. Brilliant stuff. But Chris is back in front of Ike's. Oh, we just saw Mr. Steen nearly get his front wing tore off from the rear of Ike's Fun there. So brilliant stuff here, guys. Absolutely fantastic racing so far. Looks like... Oh, let's just go to the background, because it looks like MJ Coupe and Mr. Steen. I thought I saw something in the background there. I do apologise. I switched back there. But yeah, absolute brilliant racing so far from the guys. We're just seeing roughly half a second. Oh, Ike's Fun again. Ike's Fun and the Chris 01 going hell for leather. Absolute fantastic stuff. Oh, he's going to get... Oh, no. Absolute mental stuff there. I couldn't even keep track of what was happening, but we've got 4 racers. We've got Ixfun, Mrs. Steen, the Chris 01 and MJ Coupe all going hell for leather. Chris is going to be struggling here because he won't get DRS. Ixfun gets in front of Mr. Steen. Oh, so it looks like Chris 01 got jumped by 2 people there. So we've got Mr. Steen all over the back of Ike's Fun. Is he going to go around and take an easier line and then try and cut back on the turn 2 and 3? Looks like he is. Will he get it? Will he get it? Will he get it? Not quite. Oh, it was. Oh, he still might come back at him though. He still might come back. He's in his slipstream. Yes, Sky Z. No, I do put after one up here, Mr. Sky Z. It is not Invictus. It is my fault. I'm currently at my work address streaming. It's a city centre location. I normally stream from home in Peterborough, but I have to do it from here for now. So it's nothing to do with anyone other than myself. It's what I've had to put up with. It is all me, mate. It's not a location I normally stream from, but that should change hopefully soon. So yeah, that's all me, Mr. Skyzy. So Ike's Fun and Mr. Steen still going at it. Still going at it. Oh, did we see a little bit of a slide from Ike's Fun there? DRS opens up for Ike's Fun. MJ Coupe also has DRS, but Mr. Steen doesn't have DRS. Is he actually going to get attacked on the next straight now? Yeah, Mr. Skyzy, it is just my side that's lagging. It's no one in the stream that's lagging, mate. It is all me. I'll have to own up to that one. So let's just have a look at the pits. I don't think anyone's been in yet. Oh, actually, yeah, we have. Tankanano 3, Tony Wide, the Chris 01 coming, and Delange 9-3 has all come in for the stops. They've all gone on to, when I come up, they've got hards and hards for the Chris and Delange, mediums for Tony Y, and hards for Tankanano 3. Can Tankanano 9-3 go to the end on those hard tyres? But it's going to leave him very vulnerable towards the end. We've got the likes of Mr. Steen. So you've got the likes of Mr. Steen in P4, done 7 laps on those hard tyres. MJ Coupe's looking pretty as well in P6 on those hard tyres. Captain Stiff also could be in that mix. So I must admit, looking at the table, guys, the hard runners could actually be in great contention to take this for a fight towards the end. I believe anyone who started on the softs has automatically put themselves out by starting on the softs. Let's have a quick check of position change. So with the likes of Tankatoni and the Chris and Delange all running pretty far towards the back, but I imagine they're gonna come back pretty quick. Maybe by, say, lap 16, 17 and be back in contention. Let's just change it to leader and see exactly how far behind they are. So Delange is 40 seconds behind. Now, they're going to have to pit, all the front guys have to pit soon. Well, I say soon, within about 8 laps or 7 laps. So then see these guys break up that the 20 to 40 second deficit they have. And that'll be reduced by 20 seconds. Thereabouts. I can't remember what it is for China. So yeah, it's hard to gauge this, guys. It really is. Track conditions looking good. There's no rain that we can see. I think this all comes down to managing the tyres, managing the degradation. So yeah, wow, this could be pretty much anyone's race. But obviously the Warriors Lander is bringing out a sizable lead now. It's 3.5 seconds. We've got a yellow flag in sector 2 and 3. Let's have a quick scan down. Can't see anyone. Yeah, it looks like my... Ooh. As we've just seen Tony Wine-Tinus going for it. Coming down the back straight. Beautiful helmet by Tony White. Beautiful Senna helmet there. Let's see what Tony Wide does. Goes wide. So we've got Tanker 903 switching positions. Meglupi's in the pits. He's coming in hard tyres. Was that another set of hards for Meglupi? I hope that was a graphic issue, but it looked like Meglupi was on hards and switched to hards. Obviously can't be right, surely not. I'm pretty sure Meglupi started on mediums. May have been wrong, but yeah. So let's change back to intervals, see who's racing together. So we've got Ike's Fun. Let's go back to Ike's Fun, who's on the back of Mr. Steen. So Mr. Steen's on mediums, on hards, sorry. 9 laps in, he's started on those. Eichmann's obviously going to get this overtake done pretty soon on the grippier new tyres. He's right on board with him. Let's see how he does it. DRS will open. DRS opens. He'll gain. But what will Mr. Steen do? Will he cut tight and cut him off? He'll cut tight. But he'll get this second DRS on with Eichmann. So DRS will open once again for Eichmann. What will happen as we come down to the helter-skelter of turns 1, 2 and 3? Not quite close enough. Just over the 1/3 distance of this race. So we've still got the top 7 to stop, as well as Tyners. He still has to stop, but these front 7 all have to stop again. Let's just go back to tyre choice to familiarise yourselves with what's on whose car. So the front racers now all on the medium tyres with Mr. Steen. Let's just have a look. Where did he start, Mr. Steen? Position change. Steen, he's up 6 places, as is MJ Thompson. Nick J. Thompson. Absolutely fantastic from those guys. Where will they come out when they do? Sorry, all over the place tonight, guys, to apologise. So, Mr. Steen and Nick still have to pit, as well as Estimats and Weislander. They'll probably come out when they do pit, which should be in around 4 laps. They'll probably come out around tanker 903 maybe. Just check in with our race leader. He's looking super tight here. Let's just see what he does round the helter-skelter. Looks like he's harvesting. He's got a good, nearly 6-second lead over Estimats. Not far behind him though, really. Is Mr. Steen making a move on Nick? Mr. Steen is on the harder tyre, so he's probably evened it out at this stage of the game. You've got Mr. Steen on hards and Nick on the mediums. Nick's probably starting to feel the degradation play effect here. Steen is on the slippier tyre, but they are more resilient. So he's probably got, I would say, equal grip at this time. It's probably the medium point between these two tyres, where they're about the same. Not too far behind his Eichmann. And then again we've got MJ Coop, who's sniffing down the neck of Eichmann. Let's just see what he's looking at. There you go, not far behind, gets DRS. He's closing, it won't be close enough for the hairpin turn, but it could be on the home finish straight DRS section. We saw MJ Coop closing off the DRS to get a bit of extra stopping power there. And Eichmann's in the pit, so that releases MJ Coop on those hard tyres. MJ Coop's probably got another, good 6 laps. Estimat's in the pit, so we've got the pit stops. They have been triggered, they are in effect. So Mr. Steen is now in P1. MJ Coop, Weislander in the pit. He's coming out in P3, so the Weislander looking very comfortable here, very comfortable indeed. So Tanker 903 now up into P4. So that's a brilliant take on, I think it was in like P13, was it 4 laps ago, 5 laps ago? Yellow flag in sector 3. I will be honest guys, I've not been looking out for the information at the bottom with penalties, but I've not noticed anything flashing up with penalties. Could this be the first race where we don't get penalties in F2? Surely not. So we've still got Steen and Coop to pit, but Weislander and Tankanano 3 have pitted. Tankanano 3 on the back of the Weislander. Both on hard tyres. However, Weislander's tyres are much, much younger. Oh, we've got Nick J. Thompson on the back of Tyners. Let's have a look here. Down the back finish straight, DRS will open up. Oh, will it? Yes, it will. And we've also got Chris making a move on Tyners. Oh, it's the two Ronnies into one corner. Oh, Chris got a little bit of oversteer there. Chris gets DRS open up. What will he do between the Helter Skelter? Will he go around the outside of turn one? Looks like he's gearing up for an outside turn. Not quite close enough to force him. Yeah, Tyners covers it. Beautiful defending from Tyners. Absolute fantastic racing from the Chris 01 and Tyners Optional. Absolute fantastic stuff. Another swapping round for Chris and Tyners. So looking down the field, looks like this is our main battle going on. We've got Tyners on Chris, and we've also got Estimats on Tony Y. I'll keep a track. Let's just switch to Estimats. It looks like he's gaining. Oh, see Tony Y go wide on the outside there. That's going to really play into the hands of Estimats. Estimats DRS opens up. That's going to be great for his challenge. And he's quickly cut on the back of Captain Stiff. So just seen a mistake there from Tony Y, who went wide, coming out of turn 13. Yeah, Estimats made up nearly 9 tenths on that last lap, so absolutely fantastic from Estimats. Oh, Mr. Steen and Nick trading places. What's going on here? Let's just have a quick look. On different tyre compounds, coming through the Helter Skelter of 1, 2 and 3. Just navigating 4 now. So we've got Nick J. Thompson, we've also got Mr. Steen, then Chris in the mix, and Ike's Tyner's not far behind him also. So we've got four people in this this little battle for the last few point scoring positions. Who stopped, who hasn't? We've still got Captain Stiff to stop and MJ Coop to stop, as well as Tyners. Okay guys, I'm just going to shut down the message board and the YouTube, just see if this improves quality for you guys. You see Mr. Steen all over the back of Nick. What's going to happen? He's going to go to the inside. Yes, he is. Oh, a bit of a lock up from Nick there, but he'll go tighter. He'll try and pick up the slipstream coming down the home finish straight. He's going to get DRS. Come with the DRS detections on there. And then DRS is open pretty quickly. What will happen? Will he gear on him? And will he go left or right? Will he go left round the outside to try and take the inside of turn 2? Looks like Mr. Steen's gone in. What will Nick do? Will he try and cut in here? It's a hard move to do. No, I don't quite get it done. It is very difficult. The traction's not always there to do that. And Chris is on the back of Ike's Fun still. He's sticking to the rear of him. So the Chris 01's in 9th position. 16 laps to go. Halfway position. Can the Chris 01 keep this all the way to the end and score his first points of the season? I really hope he can. Still got Captain Stiff to make a stop though. 16 laps on those tyres. Absolutely fantastic stuff from Captain Stiff. So it looks like Chris is still sticking to the back of Ike's Fun there. But then Meg Luppy's in the mix. Meg Luppy is having a look at the back of the Chris 01. So everyone seems to be settling out now. The second stage of the pit stop strategies play in effect. Captain Stiff will drop down probably, depends how far he can go, but if he'll probably drop down, by the looks of it, probably all the way to back of Tony Y by the looks of it. But then I imagine he'll go on soft tyres because there's only 11 laps left. So yeah, I imagine Captain Stiff will put softs on lighter fuel loads, make an absolute stonking finish, and I would imagine finish where he is now. It's a possibility. I could be wrong, but yeah, he could be very fast in the closing stages of this race. We've got quite a few people on mediums and hards. Yeah, so if he puts on the super grippy soft tyre, he could be super competitive. That could be the difference with worn hard tyres to fresh soft tyres. That could be the difference between probably almost 1.7 seconds a lap. So yeah, this could be very interesting for Captain Stiff. And the likes of MJ Coop also, he's done 16 laps on the hards as well. I think it's 18 or 19 seconds per pit stop in China, so that could be probably dropping down just behind Chris, 7, 10, 12, 13, 14, 16. Yeah, could be actually just behind Ike's Fun. So yeah, again, the likes of MJ Coop and Captain Stiff could be super competitive towards the end here. So MJ Coop's in the pit and Captain Stiff in the pit as well. So let's just see where they come out and what they can do in the final stages of this race. Where will they come out? I imagine Captain Stiff dropping down. Should be on Captain Stiff. Should stay there maybe. No, he's dropping down again. So yeah, he does. It looks like he's dropped behind Tony Y. He should keep that. So MJ Coop's out in 6th, but he's on the medium tyre with 10 laps to go. That means he's going to be pushing those tyres super hard all the way to the end. That could actually play into his hands because it means he can push those tyres a little bit harder. The long straights, they're going to be really good because that means the tyres will cool down. So Captain Stiff's in 11th. He's currently nearly 5 seconds behind Tony Y. So yeah, he's also come out on medium, so probably not going to be what I thought. So again, commentator gets it wrong. I do apologise, guys. But MJ Coop's looking really good here because Ike's Fun's 2 seconds behind him, and he's on those fresh mediums. Not a lot grippier, much grippier than those hard tyres. We've got Nick J. Thompson in P5, our reigning champion. MJ Coop's reining in those seconds. He really is reining in those seconds. This could be brilliant for MJ Coop. So we've lost Delange, unfortunately. Not sure what happened to him, but we have lost Delange. It looks like he was on fresh tyres. It looks like he'd made his pit stop and didn't manage to set an outlap on those tyres. So maybe we had a cold tyre incident with Delange. Sorry for missing that, guys, but yeah, looks like we have missed him. Looking down the order, guys, not much more happening. MJ Coop's probably the closest. Meg Luppy also pushing on the back of Eichspun, but they're on 3 laps difference for Meg Luppy and Eichspun. So MJ Coop's got Nick J. Thompson, our reigning champion, in his sights. So we've got Estimats, who's within 2 seconds of Tanker 903 on those hard tyres, who Tanker's done 7 laps more. He's got another 8 laps to do on those hard tyres. It's just, I wonder what is Tanker good. Let's just see where Tanker started. Yeah, Tanker started in 3rd. Is he really going to go to the end on those tyres? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I'm missing something here, guys. I'm not sure, but if Tanker's not going to end on those, he's surely going to have to stop for soft tyres and then try and make up some positions in the last maybe 3 or 4 laps. I don't know. Be interested to see exactly what happens to Tanker 903. But Estimats is now down to 1.5 seconds behind him. MJ Coop now within 6/10 of Nick J. Thompson. He's on the back straight. He's going to get DRS. So yeah, BioFreaks just to comment saying Warris looks untouchable. He certainly does, mate. He really does. He's looking super good for the championship this season. MJ Coop's still not quite close enough to get in front of Nick J. Thompson, but this is the battle of the no assist guys in F2. He's going forward with MJ Coop. What's he going to do? Is he going to go outside? Yeah, he goes to the outside, goes around the outside. They're going to keep it clean. Absolutely fantastic from our 2 decorated racers in Formula 2 Equal Performance. Nick and MJ Coop doing a grand job on no assists. Absolutely fantastic for these guys. I've got utmost respect for them doing no assists. Super hard. I can't do it myself. A normal turn no assists, a normal turn traction control off and just absolutely spin it within 1 corner. So hence it will stay off. We've got Estimats still chasing down Tanker 903. Seven laps deficit on those hard tyres. That's going to play a big part in the closing stage of this race. 7 laps to go until we see the checkered flag. Estimats gets DRS. Not quite close up, but he could be close up on them. Being really clever with the defending there. Makes 2 moves. Breaks early. MJ Coop goes around the outside. Can he keep the acceleration nice? Better drive out the corner. Can he get there before Nick? 3 laps of this circuit in China. Oh wow, I've lost my train of thought now, guys, because that really donking lead of 7.7 seconds. Absolutely fantastic for him. Let's remind ourselves of, but he's making a good comeback. He's still got Mr. Steen in his sights. Not seeing the 10 laps to go as we're coming to the end of this penultimate this lap. Mr. Steen's not far on the back of Estimats. Estimats from a cracking race. He's up 4 positions. So fantastic race from Estimat. I believe we have lost Chris. Off network message saying Chris had quit, but I don't think he has. Doesn't look like he's ghosting or anything. Where is he? Bear with me. It doesn't look like he's ghosting. He's looking pretty good there, so I might have that wrong. Sorry guys, but yeah. Mr. Steen still on the back of Estimats. Yeah, flagged in sections 1 and 2. Is that anyone on track? I don't think it is, but we've lost Tynus. Tynus has gone. Yeah, it looks Chris is still in this because it was a bit of an oversteer moment for him there, so yeah. Steen has got past Tanker. And he's got past Estimats. Oh, so Mr. Steen goes up into P2. Absolutely fantastic from Mr. Steen. Estimat's still coming back at him though. Going through the Hell Skelter. Oh, I thought they were going to touch there. I thought they were going to touch, but Estimats is still on the back of him. This is on tyre life. We've got Estimats on 15 laps on those hard tyres. Like I was saying, those hard tyres are going to go off at the end. But Mr. Steen on 13 laps on the mediums. They're probably not looking too pretty either. Light a few loads though, this should be pretty good for both races. Tanker number 3, 22 laps on those hard tyres. He's really pushing those. Here for a P4 finish. We are on the last lap as we just joined back with the Weislander. He's coming up to the last 3 corners. 2 corners, should I say. No, it is 3 corners, my apologies. You get turn 15, which is now, this little kink, apparently that's a corner. As we see the Weislander, he retakes the championship. Comes across the line and we see that beautiful checkered flag waving. I was looking for Mr. Steen and Estimats going at it as we come around the last corner. Mr. Steen comes over the line, but will Estimats take it on penalties? Who knows? We will soon see. No, they keep it. Then we got Tanker 903 coming across the line in P4. Fantastic, 23 laps on those hard tyres. Absolutely fantastic from him. Position changes. Tanker 903 down 3, unfortunately. Nick J. Thompson, our reigning champion. Absolutely fantastic. Up 3 positions. X-Fun up 1 position. Meg Luckby. He is up 2 positions in P7. The Chris 01, he's also moved up 1 position. So we've got the Chris 01 taking his first points of the season. Fantastic for him. So there you go, guys. There are your finishes for this Chinese Grand Prix, round 8 of Equal Performance Formula 2. Another fantastic win for the Weislander. Unbelievable from him. He's making his stamp on this championship and he's moved back into the lead ahead of Muglegby. So we've got the Weislander taking his win there. Mr. Steen in P2, Estimats in P3. Fantastic race from him. Started 6th. Mr. Steen started 10th. We've got Tanker 903 who started 1st but finished 4th. We've got Nick J. Thompson bringing some valuable points to the season in P5. X-Fun in P6, he started 7th. Meg Luckby in P7, he started 9th. The Chris 01 bringing in his first points of the season. Fair play to Chris. We've got Captain Stiff who started 11th and finished 9th. We've got Tony Y in P10 bringing out that final point scoring position, who started P2 and had a shocker race. But fair play for bringing it back and getting the final point of this race. So let's go try and join the guys. Bear with me while I try and invite people in. So we've got, bear with me guys. We've got Estimats and we've got the Weislander. Where is you, Weislander? Invite in. So, do we have the Weislander there? Do we have Estimats? Ah, here we are.
Good night, mate. Can you hear me?
Ah, I can hear you, buddy. Have you got your audio set to always broadcast, by the way?
I'll check.
Just check, buddy.
Yeah,
You have?
yeah. I've got it.
Ah, fantastic. So just while we wait for everyone else to join, what a fantastic race from you, mate. We
Yep.
saw an absolutely amazing start of your race. Just talk us through the first few laps and what went through your mind when you were racing.
Yeah, so I started on the mediums. I was in front of one guy on the softs, so I was happy with that. Actually, I think I was quickest. I had the medium pole, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
And then I overtook Chris, which in the beginning I thought, well, maybe this isn't even very smart because he was on the softs, so he could have been quicker. But it turned out the softs were going off very, very quickly, which was my expectation already.
Yeah.
And also the reason I started on the mediums, and then I could just catch up to everyone and, you know, grab the lead, and I think I didn't really give it away anymore from that point.
Yeah, I predicted the softs would go off pretty quickly. We did see a very broad choice of tyre going into qualifying. There's a lot of people going for softs,
Yeah.
mediums and the hards. Were you worried starting on the softs?
Yeah, so I started on the mediums.
Ah, sorry, yeah, sorry.
But I think, you know, I went on the hards in quali, and then I thought in the end, so I'm just going to risk it all because I didn't mind if I would start on the hards or in the end. So it put me right at the order, and I think that was the key for today as well.
Ah, fantastic stuff. So let's just hear from Estivats. I believe he's joined. Estivats, do we have you here, mate?
Congrats, mate,
Yep.
on the podium.
Hello.
Ah, fantastic,
First
Estivats.
No chance.
Great race, mate. Absolutely fantastic. Just give us your take on what happened during the race, because it seemed you had some serious pace there, mate.
Well, serious pace, yeah. Oh, well, not compared to Varis. I was able to hang for a few laps, like around 3 seconds when the soft guys pitted. But after that, I realized that it's going to be a race for second place. So I just tried to manage my ERS, my tires as much as possible. Fortunately, Mr. Steen got me on the penultimate lap.
Yeah.
I was kind of.
Well, it was great from you, mate. I really can't fault you for that. Absolutely fantastic, mate. So fair play to you, mate. We're just waiting for Mr. Steen to join the pie. We'll hear from him. But coming into the next race, are you looking forward to it?
Me, unfortunately, most likely I can't race actually. Otherwise,
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Bahrain would be great. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna try my best, but at this point, very unlikely that I will be traveling.
Yeah, well, hopefully we can see you race. It's always good to have a good racer like yourself racing and putting the pressure on everyone else. So yeah, fair play. So, Marislanda, are you looking forward to the next race?
Well, in the form I'm at the moment, I look forward to every race. So I believe I have the record of most wins in a row now in this league, together with someone else. So I'll try to get the record on my own next week.
Is it 4 wins in a row now, I believe?
Yeah, I heard it from, I think it was Coop. I heard it from that is the record for this league. So
yeah, so
it feels very good to have that in hands now.
Well, I will give you a standing ovation if you make it the 5 in a row, mate. I really will.
It will be very difficult, but I give it my best try.
Hopefully we can. So, Mr. Steen, do we have you here? I've not seen him join.
Mr. Steen is not in yet.
No,
But
I can't see him. No, I don't
I'll
think...
ask in the group chat.
If you can, buddy, yeah.
So was the race a bit exciting?
It was. Do you know?
From P2.
To be honest with you, everybody was
You can't.
Everybody was very close throughout the entire race. I expected it to be much more spread out.
Divided.
Yeah, everybody was really close.
I think also ST Mats, he was at one point, I think just because of the start and all the guys who were behind me on the softs, I pulled a bit of a gap to him, but then I think the first 10 laps or something, I couldn't really make a progression on him. It was every time like 3.1, 3.2. And then one lap I had a good lap and I pulled away to 4 or 5 seconds, and then after the pit stops he didn't really get back or something, but I feel like the pace was quite similar.
Yeah,
we had few guys between us after the pit stop.
Yeah, exactly.
Soft runners, we got the soft runners, so I was kinda lost a few seconds there. But anyway, with Prix not making any mistakes, there was no way I was gonna catch him.
Yeah, so Warislander, I think Warislander, you move up to 60 points, which is obviously going to be a great lead, because Meg Luppy didn't have a brilliant race today, so that drops him down a considerable amount compared to everyone else. And then, of course, looking at the table, we've got Humberstone, who wasn't racing today. Estimats, yourself, mate, you've gone from 39 points. I think you're up to, is that 49 points? Oh no, sorry, 52 points. About that, I think, if my maths is right.
Points,
so
for third place.
yeah, so yeah.
That's 10 points. Are you a third?
Yes, yeah, you were in fourth
okay.
from 39, so you get 12 points per second, I believe it is it?
No, I finished third actually.
Third, sorry, my bad. So yeah, it's still a good jump in points there for you, mate. Jumping up to 49 points. So absolutely fantastic result for you, Estimats. You've kind of put yourself in the running again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, missing next week it's gonna be tough. I think there's only 4 or 5 races remaining. So.
It is going to be tough, like it's
So,
the last quarter of the season.
But,
It's still pretty
maybe
close,
I'll figure something
so
out.
it'd be interesting to see exactly what happens in the final few races. So Mr. Steen
Yeah,
can't.
there's gonna be some interesting ones.
Oh, it'd be brilliant, yeah. So Mr. Steen can't join us on the podium, unfortunately, but thanks for joining me tonight, guys. Absolute cracking race from everyone. Really was good. But we'll see you next week for some more action. But guys, if you want to shoot off, and I'll catch you next week, hopefully on the podium again for you guys.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope so. Thank you, Dan, for the interviews as well and the commentating.
It's a pleasure. I always enjoy commentating for you guys.
Bye.
Take
Goodbye.
care, guys. All the best.
Yeah.
So there you have it, guys. That was our race winner and third place position in the race in round 8 F2 equal performance. Absolutely fantastic race. I can only apologise for the quality issues and the power cut I had. If you are watching back on the stream, this is part 2. I lost everything. I was in the dark for about 3 minutes. Managed to get booted back up and signed back in. So apologies for that, guys. But we will join you next week where we get another instalment of Formula 2 Equal Performance. I can't wait. It's always a long time for me. Almost 7 days before I stream again, before I commentate for this beautiful league. But again, join me again next week, same time, 8 p.m. UK time on the YouTube channel for Invictus. And if you can, guys, do check out the Invictus Racing League podcast that happens on most Thursdays with Gareth and Sab. It's an absolute fantastic podcast. I absolutely love watching the podcast back. And we've got many other leagues or tiers that happen within Invictus. We also have the Gran Turismo Sport League that's kicking off. So obviously, guys, do join into all of those. Choose the guys, the tiers you want to watch. We always enjoy watching you guys tune into the stream. So join me next week, guys. Same time,